Films, like most art, are often a way to express the thoughts, feelings, and ideas of the creator on the world around them, whether that be politically, socially, or introspectively. Film can offer a voice to those discussions without being a lecture. It can convey emotion in a way that no other medium can, and can affect you in ways you never imagined. Some films even go as far as actually affecting the real world around it, exacting great change, for better or for worse. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. With that being said, I'm your host, Jamie, and here are 10 films that affected the real world. Number 1. Silenced. Silenced is a South Korean drama based on Gung Ji-young's 2009 novel, The Crucible, which is itself based on actual cases of child sexual abuse at Gwangju Inwa School. Silence follows newly appointed teacher Kang In-ho, who teaches art to deaf students at Musion's Benevolence Academy. Both the city and school are made up. He discovers bruises on several students and uncovers evidence of sexual abuse, primarily from the headmaster. Kang teams up with the human rights activist So Yoon-jin to take on the school in court. Silence is a very taut, well-acted drama that will make you feel uncomfortable, as it is supposed to. There was such a public outcry after its release that it strong-armed the reopening of abuse cases on children and the disabled. Its influence reached the highest legislative body of South Korea, its National Assembly, which is their version of Congress, in which they wrote up new legislation known as the Dogani Law, which primarily scraped the statute of limitation on child sexual abuse. In other words, if the court found someone guilty of child abuse, even from decades ago, they'd be punished accordingly. Make sure to check out this film over on Tubi. Number 2. The Birth of a Nation. D.W. Griffith's A Birth of a Nation is a staple film in cinema studies, despite it being highly problematic. After all, academia is about analyzing various media objectively. But I digress. A Birth of a Nation was a groundbreaking feat of cinematic engineering, employing various new camera and editing techniques, including close-ups and fade-outs. The sheer scope of its action, cast, and set pieces was unparalleled at the time. Unfortunately, it was also a story that involved an intertwining narrative between a Union and Confederate family, depicting the South and KKK as heroes who persevered American values and African Americans as aggressive hypersexual adults. Unfortunately, we will see this kind of racist mindset today in Trumpism and anti-immigrant falsehoods. The Birth of a Nation became the perfect propaganda piece for segregation sentiments, and the film unfortunately ignited a resurgence of the KKK. Take some time to check this out over on Hulu or Sling TV. Number 3. Jaws. Steven Spielberg's monster hit Jaws, which boils down to man versus the awesome power of nature, a theme Spielberg frequently revisits, is considered the original modern blockbuster. Yes, blockbusters existed before, but this was the first time studios fashioned one through marketing, budgeting, hype, etc. Jaws is an adaptation of a novel, and one of the few films many regard as superior to the novel. The film revolves around a shark attack that creates a stir on Amity Island. Police Chief Martin Brody, played by Roy Scheider, wants to close the beaches, while the mayor wants them to stay open for tourism. Prior to Jaws, money spent on marketing a film was relatively small and staggered throughout its release. The success of a film relied more on reviews and word of mouth as the film gradually expanded in theaters over the months. Jaws had an unprecedented marketing budget for the time that built up hype prior to its release. It also opened a wide release immediately, which was also uncommon. All these actions would lay the groundwork for releasing blockbusters for decades to come. Because of Jaws, studios adapted large marketing budgets around large budget, high concept films that could act as tentpoles for the studio. They would then release said films in a large number of theaters opening week. This strategy is still one of the most popular ways in which a blockbuster is released, even today. Enjoy this classic over on Netflix, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 4, Top Gun. Though many remember the original Top Gun for groundbreaking aerial stunt work choreography and its occasionally exciting and sometimes sensual synthy soundtrack, Top Gun is sheer Navy propaganda, with quite frankly, a mediocre script. Tom Cruise's incredible charisma as the prodigal rookie Maverick was so effective that people seem to forget his character was a dick in the movie, and Iceman was actually the good guy. Top Gun was so effective as propaganda that the Navy saw a massive influx of new recruits in the late 80s. Recruitment strategies also helped, as the Navy would often set up booths outside theaters to get people to sign up. However, there were a lot of people that didn't quite cut it and ended up not making it out of boot camp. Many of the new recruits were disenchanted when they learned that the Navy was nothing like Top Gun in real life. But you can take a trip down memory lane and enjoy this high-octane adventure over on Pluto, Paramount Plus, Sling, Roku, Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 5, JFK. Undoubtedly, one of Oliver Stone's greatest films is 1992's JFK, which, in short, actually it's quite a long film, nearly 3.5 hours, is a brilliantly crafted thriller that weaves as much facts as it does fiction to formulate a robust narrative. It plays like a documentary using actual photos, recordings, and footage to fashion the story around real-life assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Thanks to impeccable direction from Stone, strong performances from Kevin Costner and Gary Oldman, as well as sublime cinematography and editing, JFK was a bona fide hit that also garnered 8 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. But its impact didn't stop there. Its influence went all the way to Congress. In the wake of the film, Congress passed the 1992 JFK Assassination Records Act. Said bill required all files and materials on the assassination of JFK to be housed and sealed with the National Archives and Records Administration. All these files would be made public in 2017 to basically prove conspiracy theorists wrong, as facts do. But take some time to check this film out over on Hulu, Sling, Google Play, Apple TV, or Prime.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope that you're enjoying all of our content. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. If you want to support us even further, there are numerous ways. First, check out fatninja.shop, our very own merch store where we sell t-shirts, hoodies, hats, shoes, and more, featuring our logo and other designs. You can also join our Patreon, linked in the video description. Last but not least, we have officially launched the YouTube membership program. At only $4.99 a month, you'll get access to our monthly newsletter featuring reviews, previews, and exclusive behind-the-scenes information about our upcoming projects and videos. You also get a nifty little badge and special emojis that you can use during our upcoming live stream chats. And if you're a member of our Discord channel, you'll get access to a special role which gives you even better access to the Fat Ninja staff and the chance to enter a monthly prize drawing as well as a shout out at the end of our videos. The prize drawings will only begin once we have reached our goal of 50 members. Finally, you'll also be gifted a special coupon code good for 20% off any item from our store. We appreciate each and every one of you and are incredibly thankful for your support. Each new subscriber and member helps us achieve our goals and keeps us motivated to create new content each week. Thanks again. Take care.
Number 6. A short film about killing. A short film about killing originally aired in Poland as part of the Decalogue series from director Krzysztof Kieslowski. The film takes place during late communist Poland. The narrative weaves together tales involving an idealist lawyer opposed to the death penalty, as well as a man named Yaptik who murders a taxi driver with seemingly no motive. A short film about killing is beautifully shot and performed story that is engaging as well as thematically intriguing. It argues that any kind of murder is wrong and is against moral relativism in general. It may come as a surprise that I am not opposed to the death penalty, as we should rid our world of rapists, murderers, and Nazis. That being said, much like the film addresses, a corrupt state with a deeply flawed legal system not be allowed to decide whether someone should live or not. The film argues that an oppressive environment and cruel society created the killer. So if we improve governments, legal systems, etc., we can essentially eliminate or at least drastically reduce the existence of serious criminals in the first place. The message and execution of A Short Film About Killing was so powerful that the same year Poland ended its death penalty. But you can check this out over on Apple TV. Number 7, Sideways. Alexander Payne's Best Picture nominee Sideways created a renewed interest in wine culture 20 years ago. Sideways revolves around two longtime friends taking a road trip to wine country to celebrate an engagement. Miles is a struggling writer and self-proclaimed sommelier played by Paul Giamatti. His recently engaged, semi-famous actor friend Jack is played by Thomas Hayden Church. It's no surprise Alexander Payne's script won for Best Adapted Screenplay for Rex Ricketts' novel Sideways, which fans might be interested to know has 2 sequels of its own. The script is witty and informative, going down smooth while remaining rich and complex. It's not without its twists, poignant moments, and well-placed dramatic elements. Sideways was not only a runaway hit for indie studio Fox Searchlight in the mid-aughts, it went on to be their biggest film. Sideways just didn't intoxicate critics and the Academy. For audiences, it created a whole new slew of Nuevo wine enthusiasts that bolstered wine and wine tourism sales. For point of reference, NPR wrote in an article in 2017 stating, Pinot Noir production in California has increased roughly 170% since Sideways was released. So pour yourself a glass and check it out on Hulu, Disney+, Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango, or Prime. Number 8. V for Vendetta. V for Vendetta, which was adapted from Alan Moore's graphic novel of the same name, takes place in a future London ruled by fascism. A vigilante called V, who dons a Guy Fawkes mask, fights an oppressive police state while plotting a large-scale plan to bring down a corrupt ruling body once and for all. Though it was topical at the time, it's become more a reality now. The widespread of misinformation has propagandized the whole faction of people who have allowed far-right fascist figures to rise. The popularity of the film ultimately inspired one of the most famous hacker groups, Anonymous, who have spread their message with a person adorning the Guy Fawkes mask. Make sure to enjoy this one over on Prime, Google Play, Apple TV, or Fandango. Number 9. Bambi. Walt Disney's 1942 classic Bambi is one of the most renowned and influential films in cinema history. Over 80 years later, young children still know the story of Bambi, a curious fawn raised in the forest by his mother who befriends various woodland creatures. Most are also familiar with the tragic scene in which Bambi's mother is killed by a hunter known simply as Man. UK's Far Out magazine says this particular scene often serves as the earliest confrontation with morality for many children. I'd argue that for millennials, the death of Mufasa was our version of this scene. Regardless, Bambi's effect is so great it goes beyond just cinema and childhood trauma, but also caused an outcry against hunters at the time. This snowballed into a psychology term that is now known as the Bambi effect. The idea behind the Bambi effect is that humans are adverse to the killing of animals they deem cute. But make sure to check out this Disney classic over on Disney+, Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango, or Prime. Number 10, Fight Club. David Fincher is one of the greatest living film directors, and one of his most iconic films is 1999's legendary Fight Club. Though the film is now synonymous with Fincher's signature style and themes, it's actually an adaptation of Chuck Palahniuk's 1996 novel, also titled Fight Club. Though Fincher had made box office hits like Best Picture winner Seven prior to Fight Club, this film was not ultimately a box office success. Though it grossed just over $100 million worldwide, that was well below what 20th Century Fox wanted. The film cost around $65 million, meaning it ultimately lost the studio money during its theatrical run. However, it built a cult following and made bank in the home market as its fan base grew. Fight Club ironically fought its way to mainstream status through its biting politics about the hollowness of consumerism and topical themes regarding suppression of identity and the lies of the American dream. Fight Club follows a nameless narrator disenchanted by the superficiality of white-collar life. After meeting a soap salesman, Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt, who convinces the narrator that he needs to shed materialism and involve himself in something more visceral, they form a discreet Fight Club. The ideas being peddled so charismatically by Brad Pitt in the Fight Club are so convincing that it led people forming underground fight clubs of their own. In 2009, there was also an incident of a homemade bomb going off in Manhattan Starbucks. The 17-year-old culprit claimed that they were taking on corporations like in the film Fight Club. All cases demonstrate that people completely miss the point of the film. But make sure to join in on this fight over on Hulu, Disney+, Sling, Google Play, Fandango, or Prime. Thanks for checking out the video. Did we leave any films off the list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tap that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X at StudiosFat, or chat with us on Discord, linked below. If you're really enjoying our content and want to help support us, click that join button for exclusive content, rewards, and perks. Make sure to check out our very own merch store located at fatninja.shop. All proceeds go towards our next film project, so we'd greatly appreciate it. I've been your host, Jamie. Thanks again. See you in the next one.